All right. So with the advent of the latest Mario game, Mario Wonder, I have for the most part either directly played or have fully experienced through like gameplay watching. Most mainline Mario games, 2D and 3D alike. So I figured with the end of the year, having beaten Wonder, that I should make my tier list on how I view you know the mainline Mario games. So here we have I found a tier list of all of the 2D and 3D mainline Mario games. Down here we have the Never Experience, which is mostly just the Super Mario Advance games, as well as Yoshi's Island. That's something I've never really experienced. I watched a Let's Play of the original Yoshi's Island, but aside from that, I've like no experience. And then there's Super Mario 35. I never actually got around to playing it before it was shut down, which is unfortunate, but hey. So to start off with, we have, the first Super Mario Bros. Where it all began, and I'm honestly gonna put it in C tier. It's an okay game, but it's really old, and compared to newer games, it's a lot rougher around the edges. Next up, hit reset all of my things. I put these all in order, and it didn't bother. Next up, we have the Lost Levels. I'm gonna put it above the original in C tier just because it is brutal. Personally, I've tried playing it and I honestly just suck. That's why it's so down low, because I'm just not that good at the harder version of Super Mario Bros. And yeah, it's one of those things where it's just down there more so for personal opinion. Then we have, where is it? Super Mario Bros. 2. I'm gonna put this also in C tier. I'm putting a lot of the older games in C tier, I feel, but I feel like that will change pretty soon. I've never beaten this game, but I had it on my Game Boy as an advanced game. But I'm putting the advanced games down there just because, like in the never experience, just because it's just the advanced games. Like there's nothing special about it at all. But yeah. So that's for me personally, a reasonable place to put it in C tier. Next, we have, where is it? Super Mario Bros. 3, which is going to be put in B tier. It's the first, usage of the world system, easier to get lives. Like it's a lot more, it still has, like, a lot of the difficulty of, like, the original game. But at the same time, it is also a lot more forgiving in that sense. Plus, the castles, like it took the skeleton of Super Mario Bros. And just it was the first game to really flesh things out. Next is Super Mario World, which is going to go into A tier. For me, Super Mario World, Yoshi, the art style is just so cool, and yeah, like it took Super Mario Bros. 3 and innovated even further. It was one of those games that innovated art style above all else. And I feel like we should put All Stars also in A tier just because it has all of the games, so it benefits from all of them. Plus, it was a really good, you know, just it was a fun, easy way to play all of the games in one collection. Which so I'm gonna first start off with just all the 2D games. So next 2D game would be we go into the new Super Mario Bros. Yeah. So for new Super Mario Bros. For the DS, the first one, I'm gonna put it in low A tier. This is the first one. So like it was a return to 2D Mario. It had been a while since we had a 2D like a new original 2D Mario game, and it did innovate. Like new graphics. Obviously, it hasn't aged the most gracefully because it isn't like HD. But I feel like low A tier is a good place to put the original New Super Mario Bros. As well as the Wii version, because like better graphics, more power ups. Like it's just basically these two are kind of like interlocked when it comes to where they rank because they kind of came together. Then there's New Super Mario Bros. 2. I like the game, but I'm gonna have to put it in B tier just because it is what it is. Like it's just like it's New Super Mario Bros. But coins. That's really all it is. I mean, the final boss was pretty cool, but like aside from that, like it didn't really innovate that much, and I'm gonna have to put it in B tier. Then we have New Super Mario Bros. U, also in B tier, for the same reason that Super Mario Bros. 2 is in B tier. With the Wii, it basically just next gen version of New Super Mario Bros. For the Wii, but for the Wii U instead. And then there's Super Luigi U. That's going in C tier. It's literally just, New Super Mario Bros. U, but without Mario. But it doesn't go into D tier for the sheer fact that Luigi's cool. Luigi is, just I love Luigi, so I remember I started getting into Nintendo Directs and like really into Nintendo during the year of Luigi in 2013. So Super Luigi U has a special place in my heart. So that's why I can't personally put it into D tier just because it just has so much charm with like the whole like hidden Luigi thing. And like the level redesign, like there was some character to the game. It wasn't purely a reskin, which is why Deluxe goes into D. Don't get me wrong, it's amazing that you can play both Mario Bros and Luigi U in on the Switch. Comes packaged together, but like it did not do anything. It might as well be considered an advanced game. Never experienced it. I guess isn't the best title, but that's what I'm going to go for because a lot of these games I have never experienced. I don't want to create like another row for games that are just remakes because like All Stars, pretty high up there. We'll get to 3D All Stars when we get to it. Then the other D tier game, I'm just going to jump ahead to it, is Super Mario Run. I've played a little bit of it. Haven't beaten it because I don't feel like paying money for it. It was a neat gimmick, but like at the end of the day, it's a mobile Mario. It's a mobile game. You cannot tell me a mobile game is that innovative. Now, maybe with Tor a little bit, you could say like Nintendo did a little bit, but like even then, it's Super Mario Run is literally just the new Super Mario Bros. Line, but on mobile. That's all it is. Then we have the Mario Maker games. I'm gonna put the first one in B tier. It was the first game, and I'm gonna put it in high B tier because like it was the opening for the series, the Mario Maker series, and for a first game, it isn't like it didn't quite like reach its potential just yet, but like it was still very solid. The creativity that you could have in the game was pretty good. Then there was the port to the 3DS, which I'm gonna put in middle C tier, just for the fact that with the 3DS being shut down, really like the online service, like who's really playing Super Mario Maker for the 3DS anymore? It's kind of like Smash Bros for the 3DS. Cool, but like just play it on the console, not the handheld. And the second to last 2D Mario game, Mario Maker 2, is going in middle A tier, just because it still has an active community. Like you're able to make worlds. Like just the level of creativity, it's you can make so many 2D Mario games and experience them in this one game. It's a community Mario game, and like it has so much charm. Sure, is it just assets from all games? Yes, but at the same time, You can do things in those games that never have been done before, and I think that that's just really cool. And lastly, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. It's going to be the first game in S tier. This game, considering we had so many new Super Mario Bros. Like, look at how many times new Super Mario Bros. And then just something added to it, minus Luigi, because that was different. Like the art style, the mechanics, like the plot, so different from the past 20-ish years of 2D Mario that like it's the first game to really innovate since like when it comes to art style and all that, since new Super Mario Bros came along, as well as Super Mario World, which are both in A tier, and then Wonder just turns it up to 11. So I'm gonna have to put it in S tier, just because like I really enjoy the game. Maybe it's a little bit of recency bias. Maybe years down the line it will change and it will drop down to A, and whatever the new 2D Mario game is will be an S. I don't know, but right now for me, it's an S. Which now leaves us with our 3D games, starting with Super Mario 64. High B tier. Don't get me wrong, it's a great game, but like in some ways it's real rough. Like it's just age. It's one of those older games. Can't put it in C tier just because of like how active people still play the game, but like it's definitely it it has age. So for me, like I've beaten it, but once. That like so long ago, I beat it once on my N64, but like since then, like I haven't really picked it up just because it's really rough to play unless like you dedicate so much time to like learning the game compared to other 3D Mario games that I just personally haven't bought it. So for me, it's gonna go upper middle B tier for me. However, Super Mario for the DS is also going in B tier, but it's gonna be higher than the original, just because it's a bit easier to control. I played it before I played the original. Plus, you could play as multiple characters, and for me, that just it's charming for me. Next up is Sunshine, also going in B tier. I know a lot of people love it because of how creative it is. It's a brand new world outside of the Mushroom Kingdom and all that, but like once again, just age. Like I remember the first time I played it was in 3D All Stars, and it is rough to try to play. Like it is rough. I haven't beaten the game yet, just because I just got frustrated with the controls and kind of put it down. In fact, I haven't really touched the 3D All Star pack since I really bought it all those years ago. I played each of the games a little bit and then kind of lost interest. Next up is Super Mario Galaxy, A tier. Lower A tier, just because for me it's just for me Super Mario Galaxy has a special place because it was the first 3D Mario game I beat, was Galaxy on my Wii. I remember I rented the game from the local rental store because I got an A on my report card, and they had a deal with my local school that if you brought your report card in each 9 weeks, you got one free rental for each A you had on your report card. And one of the things I rented was Super Mario Galaxy. Rented it for the weekend because they had a special deal where if you rented it on Fridays, you could keep it till Monday. And I remember I played Super Mario Galaxy for the weekend, I believe, in fourth grade, and I beat it that weekend. And that was the first time I actually like really truly sat down and beat a video game. And Super Mario Galaxy was that first game for me. And then Mario Galaxy 2 came out. I thought it was easier, but I feel like a lot of people, they feel like the first game they play, like some people play Galaxy 2 first, and that Galaxy 2 is harder than Galaxy 1. I played Galaxy, I played Galaxy 1 first, and then I played Galaxy 2. But I personally liked Galaxy 2 more, so I'm going to put it a little bit higher in A tier. Once again, I believe it was 5th grade. Did the whole weekend thing and beat the game, but I just love like the little starship. I love like all the charm that the game had, and I just personally liked the starship more than the observatory as a hub world. But that's just me. So these games, they had cool power ups. The bee suit, the spring. I'm trying to remember all the power ups. It's been so long. I really need to replay Galaxy and then maybe get my hands on Galaxy 2 for the Wii. Next up is Super Mario 3D Land. It's gonna go in upper C tier. I haven't played it, but I've watched playthroughs of the game, and I gotta say, it's kind of bland. Like, yeah, it's cool, but like it's just bland for me personally. It is what it is. And then 3D World, which was the console version, kind of like how you had New Super Mario Bros. For DS, Wii, 3DS, Wii U. You had 3DS and Wii U for Super Mario 3D World, and I'd say it goes here. Pretty good, but at the same time, it just it felt more complete than 3D Land, but I mean, who can go wrong with Cat Mario? But like, it's just I don't know. I the highest I can put it is B tier. Then we'll do 3D All Stars. Top of C tier for the simple fact that it makes some of the older games more accessible on Switch. But like, in my opinion, just play the original when it comes to these three games. But like, if you can't, it's an amazing way to get your hands on the game. Then we have Odyssey and Fury, which are going to both go. Well, Odyssey is going to go in S tier, and Bowser's Fury is going to go in high A tier. Almost S tier, but like, since it's just an add-on and like it's fairly short, it can't go into S tier. Plus, it really is just 3D World, but like it's almost a middle ground between Odyssey and 3D World, which is why I think meeting it in the middle with A tier is probably the best place. Now, Odyssey is just the latest 3D Mario game. It controls so smoothly. The capture system's so unique. The worlds are just so open. Like, you don't have to like select your moon and then play the level. You just collect the moon and you keep going. And there's so many moons, so many secrets, so much exploration to do. So many bosses. Sure, a lot of them are just repeats, but like, it's not really about so much about the bosses as it is just about the experience. Plus, I've sped run the game. I've beaten it in under 2 hours. Not the greatest time or anything, but it's something I've done, and it's something I can't say for any of the other 3D Mario games. So when it comes to my tier list, this is my tier list. Ignore this bottom row. So like from D and upwards, like this is where my Mario games lay out. Tell me what you think in the comments below, and yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Take care.